Chapter 81 Battle of March. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Bai said with some distress that this speed was much lower than the speed of practicing the God and Demon prison suppression technique. Complaints were complaints, but Lin Bai continued to practice. After consuming all the spiritumping pills and Guyuan pills, Lin Bai's realm reached the peak of the 7th level of Xunwu. Hey, I wonder if the God and Demon prison suppression technique can absorb the spiritual energy of the Spirit Stone. Come and try it. Lin Bai took out all 90,000 Spirit Stones and activated the God and Demon prison suppressing technique. Suddenly, pieces of spiritual stone exploded in front of Lin Bai's eyes, and spiritual energy billowed into Lin Bai's body. The 8th level of Xunwu, Lin Bai said ecstatically. The God and Demon prison suppressing technique can actually absorb the power of Spirit Ascension pills and Spirit Stones, as well as Demon blood. But will it have any effect on the warrior's blood and martial soul? An idea suddenly appeared in Lin Bai's mind. If the martial soul can also be absorbed, that would be incredible. There's only half a month until the date we agreed with Xiang Tianyi. It's impossible for me to break through to the 9th level of Xunwu in this half month. But with my current strength at the 8th level of Xunwu, it shouldn't be a big problem against Xiang Tianyi. In the next time, let's consolidate our cultivation at the 8th level of Xunwu. Lin Bai ate all the solid yuan pills and took out 30,000 spirit stones to consolidate his cultivation at the 8th level of Xunwu. The 8-winged dragon python sold 150,000 spirit stones, 60,000 of which were purchased for elixirs. Lin Bai used another 50,000 spirit stones to break through to the 8th level of Xunwu, and used 30,000 spirit stones to consolidate his realm. Now Lin Bai has become a pauper again, with 10,000 spiritual stones left in the storage bag. Time flies, half a month has passed. Xiang Tianyi, it's time to settle the score. Lin Bai walked out of the room and said with an evil look on his face, early morning, as soon as the rooster crows, many warriors are walking towards the platform of life and death. The sun has not yet risen, but the life and death stage is already full of people, with almost more than 1,000 disciples already present. Let me tell you, what day is it today? Why are so many people here to watch the competition? You don't know yet? Today is the day for newcomers Lin Bai and Xiang Tian to fight to the death. What? Someone actually challenges the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. Is he seeking death? Don't underestimate Lin Bai. This person is amazing. In the trial battle, he alone will. The warriors who sat down began to whisper among themselves. The top 10 disciples from the outer sect are here. Oh my God, is that man in golden robe walking at the front senior brother Yuanjia? Yuanjia, who ranked second among the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. Hasn't he already broken through to the 3rd level of the Xuanwu realm? He has long refused to accept a life and death battle. Wait, look, who are the people behind? Su Qilin, the 6th among the top 10 disciples. 7th Wang Fei. 8th Zheng Yuqing, 9th Xiao Jieyong. The 10th Xiang Tianyi, 0.6 of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect walked into the platform of life and death, causing a commotion. The 6 of them found a place to sit down. Tianyi, are you sure? When Yuanjia asked in a low voice, with murderous intent that was hard to hide in his words, Xiang Tianyi smiled proudly. Brother Yuanjia, although I can't beat you, I can't beat Lin Bai with ease. Okay. Remember, don't kill Lin Bai later, destroy his cultivation and leave it to us. When Yuanjia clenched his fists and made a gurgle sound, with a murderous look on his face. If you dare to go against me, Yuanjia, I will make him die. Yuanjia was so angry that his voice was filled with anger. That's right, Tianyi, don't kill him. Killing him with one sword will be too easy for him. We have to torture him. Su Zilong also smiled cruelly. Huang Fei said with a cold face, I just realized that it was him who killed my brother. Xiang Tianyi, give him some time to breathe and let me give him the last blow. Xiang Tianyi laughed and said, don't worry, everyone, after I destroy Lin Bai's cultivation, everyone will have grievances and revenge. All the warriors present looked at Yuanjia and the other 10 disciples. but he didn't notice that 3 ordinary teenagers had entered the stage of life and death. Lin Bai walked in and said with a smile, "Why doesn't anyone seem to notice us?" Qi Xiaolong smiled and said, "These people are all looking at the top 10 disciples. Our reputation is not enough to compare with them." 2. Lin Bai naturally also saw when Yuanjia, Xiang Tianyi and other 10 disciples, the top 10 disciples of the outer sect hold extremely high prestige among the outer sect. They represent the most outstanding geniuses among the outer sect of this generation. Lin Bai, if you lose later, remember not to fight to the death, it's your priority to sign up, Qi Xiaolong reminded Lin Bai before he took the stage. "Xiaolong, don't worry, I won't lose. You take Taidan and stay away, we will kill too many people, and the Shenmen League will attack you." Lin Bai also said to Xiaolong, and Taidan said. Fortunately, Lin Bai and others entered the stage of life and death without causing much disturbance. Qi Xiaolong and Taidan hid in a remote location, sat down, and waited for the competition to begin. "It's time to pay with blood. You all want to kill me, why don't I want to kill you?" Lin Bai's figure flashed and he appeared on the stage of life and death. "Xiang Tianyi, come up and die." As soon as he stood on the stage of life and death, before all the warriors could see Lin Bai's face clearly, Lin Bai opened his mouth and roared. The sound shook thousands of miles, and with one roar, it suppressed the excited warriors in the audience. "That person is Lin Bai. Lin Bai is here. Ha ha ha, this idiot is just a clown. Senior brother Xiang Tianyi can knock him down with just one punch. Let him see what will happen if he sins against our Divine Alliance today." Yes, the majesty of the Divine Alliance does not allow anyone to provoke. A group of Divine Alliance warriors showed overwhelming anger towards Lin Bai. It was as if Lin Bai had a grudge against them for killing his father. Lin Bai, as soon as Lin Bai appeared, when Yuanjia, Huang Fei, Su Zilong, Su Qilin, Xiang Tianyi, and Zheng Yuqing all gritted their teeth and roared angrily. These 6 people all hated Lin Bai to the core. "Tianyi! Don't show mercy, beat him." When Yuanjia's face flushed with anger and he stared at Xiang Tianyi and said, Xiang Tianyi smiled confidently, "Senior brother Wen Yuanjia, don't worry." Wow! Xiang Tianyi's figure flashed and appeared on the stage of life and death. Xiang Tianyi is on stage. The whole place was in an uproar. "Come on, senior brother Tianyi, you are the best. The top 10 disciples of the outer sect are about to take action, I'm really looking forward to it. Xiang Tianyi has been among the top 10 disciples for 3 years. Although he is ranked 10th, no one can shake him for 3 years. Lin Bai is definitely no match for Xiang Tianyi." As soon as Xiang Tian came on stage, he looked at Lin Bai with a sarcastic smile. "Lin Bai, have you thought about how to die? Tell me, I can fulfill your wish." Hee hee. Lin Bai glanced at Xiang Tianyi with contempt on his face. "That's unreasonable. Today I have to let you know what strength is." Xiang Tian was furious when he saw that he was despised by Lin Bai. As one of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect, Xiang Tianyi had never suffered such contempt and humiliation. Chapter 82 Kill Xiang Tianyi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiang Tianyi was filled with murderous aura and stared at Lin Bai with wide eyes. At this time, an elder appeared on the stage of life and death and said, "The battle of life and death will not end until one party dies. Are you sure you want to continue?" The elder came to the stage and gave his final words of advice. "This is the rule of Lingjian sect. Although the life and death platform is a place used by the Lingjian sect to resolve personal grievances between disciples, they are still disciples of the Lingjian sect after all. If they can shake hands and make peace in the end, that is naturally what the Lingjian sect hopes to see the most, but since they are on the stage of life and death, basically no one will regret it. Continue." Lin Bai and Xiang Tianyi replied to the elder without any thought. The elder said again, "In the battle of life and death, warriors watching the battle must not interfere, otherwise they will be severely punished. You, feel free to do whatever you want." After saying that, the elder floated down, far away from the stage of life and death. The elder left, and the battle of life and death officially began. It's about to begin. The top 10 disciples of the outer sect will not let us down. Senior brother Xiang Tianyi, kill Lin Bai Bai and let him know how powerful our divine alliance is. The majesty of the divine alliance cannot be violated. Senior brother Xiang Tianyi, kill him. Among the warriors watching the battle, the warriors from the divine alliance were undoubtedly the most excited, shouting at the top of their lungs to Tianyi, Wen Yuan, Jojo Novel www.jjxxs.cn, Jia, Su Zilong, Huang Fei, and Zheng Yuqing all looked at Lin Bai with indifferent expressions, wishing they could run up and eat Lin Bai's flesh and blood. Lin Bai, suffer death. The moment the elder left the stage, Xiang Tian's eyes flashed coldly, and he punched Lin Bai straight in the face. Huge power was concentrated on his fist, and he punched out, shattering the air along the way. The sonic boom echoed in his ears, like the mighty power of heaven. You can kill me with just this punch. Lin Bai showed no signs of weakness and struck with a backhand punch. The two punched each other and were shocked back 3 steps. Kill. Xiang Tian's eyes were furious, his fists reached into the sky, and he struck at Lin Bai like the sky was shattering. And Lin Bai was also fighting with each other, fighting to attack Mai Meng. The two exchanged hundreds of moves in an instant. What? Lin Bai actually exchanged hundreds of moves with Xiang Tianyi without falling into any disadvantage. Oh my god, Lin Bai has only joined the Lingjian sect for 2 months, and he is already as strong as the top 10 disciples. All the warriors were surprised when they saw the fight between dragons and tigers on the life and death stage. In the spectator seats, a beautiful woman and a handsome man were sitting together. Sure enough, he is awesome. He is the first in the competition in Lingxi City. Li Qingxian said with a faint smile. This man and woman were clearly Li Jianqing and Li Qingxian. When Li Jianqing joined the Lingjian sect, he said that his sister was practicing in the Lingjian sect, but Lin Bai didn't know that Li Jianqing's sister was actually the leader of the Sword Alliance, Li Qingxian. No. Li Jianqing heard Li Qingshuan's words and shook his head slightly. What's wrong? Brother? Li Qingxian asked curiously. This is not Lin Bai's strength. This strength is not as strong as when he was in Lingxi City. Li Jianqing said. His most powerful thing is not his fists, but his sword. Now, he is just punching Xiangtian, just playing. Li Jianqing said seriously. He had seen Lin Bai's swordsmanship before. How could someone who could defeat Lin Zier only have this little strength? That's right, Alliance leader, Lin Bai's swordsmanship is very strong. No, it should be said to be terrifying. Sun Qian on the side heard Li Jianqing mention Lin Bai's swordsmanship, and immediately remembered everything that happened in the explosive ape canyon. Now that he recalled it, Sun Qian shuddered. Oh, is it so? Although Li Qingxian knew that Lin Bai used a sword, he didn't know how advanced Lin Bai's sword skills were. At this moment, it was heard that both Li Jianqing and Sun Qian were afraid of Lin Bai's swordsmanship, and Li Qingxian also looked forward to it. On the other side, a man in white clothes leaned against the wall, eating an apple in his hand, and said with a bored expression, "Junior brother, you have to work harder, master will not accept a loser as his apprentice." This person is clearly Li Shanqing. That is, the disciple of Emperor Ling. Lin Bai's future senior brother. Lin Bai probably never dreamed that Li Shanqing would come to watch this competition, and Lin Bai would never have thought that Li Shanqing didn't want to come originally, but Emperor Ling ordered Li Shanqing to come. So amazing. Lin Bai and Xiang Tianyi are so inseparable from each other, that the warriors watching the battle opened their mouths in surprise when they saw how strong both of them were. When Yuanjia saw Xiang Tianyi and Lin Bai fighting each other, he immediately said displeasedly, "Xiang Tianyi, stop playing around. Destroy him immediately." When Yuanjia's voice was not suppressed, but loudly heard by all the warriors present. Did you hear that? Senior brother Wen Yuanjia can't wait to kill you. Xiang Tianyi sneered. Lin Bai, you still have the last 10 breaths to live, cherish it. Xiang Tianyi sneered. Okay, I've had enough fun anyway. Lin Bai chuckled, twisted his waist, and said with a smile, I haven't used force for 2 months, so I'm a little rusty. Play. Then I'll send you to hell to play. Dragon-destroying divine fist. Xiang Tianyi's aura surged, and a violent force surged out of his body, rolling wind and dust rolled up, and the stage of life and death was immediately enveloped by a storm. A dragon's shadow could still be vaguely seen, wrapping around Xiang Tiany's fist. Here we come. Dragon-destroying divine fist. Mysterious level 5 martial arts. Seeing Xiang Tianyi perform the dragon-slaying divine fist, all the warriors were full of expectations, because Xiang Tianyi relied on this set of martial arts to achieve the position of one of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. Now that we're serious, do you still think Lin Bai will win? Li Qingxian looked back at Li Jianqing and asked with a smile, brother, although Lin Bai won the first place in Lingxi City, this is the Lingjian sect. There are too many geniuses, peerless geniuses, and he, Lin Bai, is just the most insignificant among them. 1. Li Jianqing was non-committal and did not answer Li Qingxian. Go to hell. Lin Bai, Xiang Tianyi roared angrily and punched out. The light of the fist tore through the sky and the earth, like a mountain about to collapse, and rushed towards Lin Bai's chest heavily, all the way forward. The huge force shattered the air, and the ground was cracked layer by layer under the pressure of this force. Lin Bai faced the punch calmly, with a sneer on his lips. Draw your sword. A flash of sword light spread out across the sky and the earth. The sword's edge soared into the sky and slashed down in anger. The sword energy was like stars and bright moon falling from the 9 heavens, hitting Xiang Tianyi unstoppably. Your boxing skills are vulnerable to a single blow. Meteor falling moon slash. Boom. The sword energy fell on Xiang Tianyi's fist light, immediately cutting the fist light into pieces. Not good. At this moment, Xiang Tianyi suddenly felt the shadow of death, and a cold air ran up his back from the soles of his feet. Cold sweat had soaked his whole body, and his face was tense. Under Lin Bai's sword, he quickly retreated. Still trying to escape. Goddamn Lone Star. That when Lin Bai saw Xiang Tian and wanted to run away, he immediately rushed forward with his sword. The sword energy condensed into a starburst and flew away with a hiss. There are no gorgeous colors, no brilliant light, with such a simple sword strike. Before Xiang Tianyi had time to react, a beam of starlight passed through the center of his eyebrows and shot out from the back of his head. Poof! A stream of blood and plasma spread across the entire place. Chapter 83 Kill Another Person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How can this be? Xiang Tianyi stared at Lin Bai with wide eyes in surprise until his vision went dark and his body fell to the ground involuntarily. Bang! The sound of Xiang Tianyi falling to the ground suppressed the boiling sounds of the entire audience. All the warriors present looked like they had seen a ghost. Looking at the scene they found on the competition stage, Lin Bai's swift sword pierced through Tianyi's head, killing him on the stage of life and death. The impact of this scene on all warriors was too great. Died? Xiang Tianyi, one of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect, died like this? Oh my god, Lin Bai's sword is so fast. He actually killed Xiang Tianyi in an instant. Have you noticed that Lin Bai and Xiang Tian had a fist fight before? It was just for fun. Lin Bai's strongest skill is his swordsmanship. All the warriors analyzed Lin Bai's attack methods. When Li Jianqing saw this scene, a smile appeared on his lips. He looked at the surprised Li Qingxian beside him and said with a smile, Sister, now you know how terrifying Lin Bai's swordsmanship is. He is actually so strong. Li Qingxian was so frightened that his face turned pale. Li Qingxian recalled Lin Bai's sword strike just now in his mind. Even though Li Qingxian was not standing under Lin Bai's sword, from a distance of 500 meters, Li Qingxian still felt the compelling breath of death, as if the sword was piercing his eyebrows. Li Qingxian knew very well that she might not be able to block Lin Bai's sword. No. This is not his strongest yet. That when Sun Qian saw this scene, although he was briefly shocked, he shook his head and said, Sun Qian recalled that day in the explosive Ape Canyon, the sword he used to kill Jing Yuhua from the edge, and killed more than 25th level Jinwu warriors with one sword. What a terrifying thing it was. And the most terrifying thing is that at that time, Lin Bai was only at the 3rd level of martial arts. A 3rd level martial artist can kill more than 25th level true martial artists with one sword. Now that Lin Bai is at the 6th level of Jinwu, how many 8th level Zhenwu warriors will he kill with one sword strike? What? That when Yuanjia saw Xiang Tianyi being killed, he stood up from his stool in surprise and looked at Xiang Tianyi's body in disbelief, his face extremely dark. The remaining people, Su Zilong, Huang Fei, Zheng Yuqing, and Su Qilin all had ugly expressions. The Divine Alliance warriors who came to watch the battle were even more unwilling to believe this scene. Lin Bai, you are cheating. You must have used some other means. Otherwise, how could you have killed senior brother Xiang Tianyi? That's right, Lin Bai, you are a despicable and shameless villain. You use despicable means even in martial arts competitions. You are not worthy of being our fellow apprentices, let alone a warrior of the Spirit Sword Sect. Get out, Lin Bai, get out of the Lingjian Sect. Lin Bai, get out of the Lingjian Sect. In the entire arena of life and death, more than 1,000 warriors came, 800 of them were warriors from the Divine Alliance. Now a warrior from the Divine Alliance shouted at Lin Bai, get out of the Spirit Sword Sect. The rest of the Divine Alliance warriors also roared angrily. In an instant, the entire life and death stage warriors were shouting, telling Lin Bai to get out of the Spirit Sword Sect. Hearing these words, Lin Bai's mouth showed a hint of sarcasm, and his eyes were full of killing intent. Ha ha ha, you said that I had other despicable means to kill Xiang Tianyi. Well, I will kill one to show you, to prove it. I killed Xiang Tianyi openly. You masters from the League of Gods will never be so stupid that you lose twice with one move. Su Zilong. Come up and die. Lin Bai pointed his sword at Su Zilong. Arrogant. So arrogant. Senior brother Su Zilong is the 9th among the top 10 disciples, but he is much more powerful than senior brother Xiang Tianyi. Whatever Lin Bai wants from senior brother Su Zilong, that's just nonsense. 9th place and 10th place seem to be about the same, but the difference is 1,000 miles. Senior brother Su Zilong, kill him. The Shenmeng warriors have great confidence in Su Zilong. Zilong. When Yuanjia looked at Su Zilong, Su Zilong said with a cold expression, Brother Wen Yuanjia, don't worry. Junior brother Xiang Tianyi was too careless and died in Lin Bai's hands. I will not make such a low-level mistake as Xiang Tianyi. Well, go ahead and kill Lin Bai. Wen Yuanjia said. Fight for our Divine Alliance. The majesty of the Divine Alliance cannot be desecrated. Wen Yuanjia said angrily. At this moment, Wen Yuanjia also saw that this was no longer a personal grudge, but had already involved the Divine Alliance. Yes, Su Zilong responded, jumped into the air, and landed on the platform of life and death. The elder still appeared. The battle of life and death will not end until one party dies. Are you sure you want to continue? Continue. Lin Bai and Su Zilong both said in unison. On the stage of life and death, warriors watching the battle are not allowed to interfere. Violators will be severely punished. After the elder said a word, he turned around and left again. Lin Bai, within 3 moves, I will definitely kill you. Su Zilong showed his sword, and the sharp sword light penetrated the sword body, and the killing intent suddenly spread around. Flying Dragon Sword Technique, driving the dragon to swallow the sky. Buzz. Su Zilong's sword immediately heard a crisp sword cry. Immediately, a fierce dragon roar came, and Su Zilong stepped forward quickly, with a thunderous sword, like the morning light cutting through the world, 1,000-mile sword, directly towards Lin Bai's face. I can kill you without even using a second sword. Meteor falling moon slash. Faced with Su Zilong's swift and fierce sword attack, Lin Bai advanced instead of retreating. He used the shadow step to the limit and attacked Su Zilong in a flash. A chill that frightened Su Zilong quickly filled his body. Su Zilong's expression changed drastically, and he looked a little panicked. Cut. Lin Bai's sword fell heavily, and the sword energy tore through the sky, shattered Su Zilong's sword power, broke the sword in his hand, and chopped off his arm. Ah! Su Zilong let out a shrill scream and retreated more than 10 meters in embarrassment. He covered his bloody broken arm and looked at Lin Bai angrily. Lin Bai, I want you to die. Su Zilong roared ferociously. You are the one who is going to die now. that the moment Lin Bai repelled Su Zilong, he raised his sword and pounced on him. Lin Bai, don't kill me. I am a direct descendant of the Su family in the imperial capital. If you kill me, there will be no place for you in Shenwu. Su Zilong begged for mercy with a panicked expression. It doesn't matter, Lin Bai responded indifferently, and penetrated Su Zilong's throat with a sword. The blade penetrated from the back of Su Zilong's neck. Drops of scarlet blood followed the tip of the sword and fell low to the ground. Poof! Lin Bai put away his sword and came back. Su Zilong's body fell to the ground with a bang, and the blood flowed into a pool of blood, dyeing the ground within 3 meters red. No, this is impossible, this is impossible. That's not true. How could the two geniuses of our divine alliance die at the hands of an ant like Lin Bai? This can't be true, it can't be true, I must be dreaming. Many divine alliance warriors found it difficult to accept the fact before them, and shook their heads in a dazed way. Brothers, please collect and recommend, thank you. Chapter 84. Hundreds of people surrounded and killed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After killing Su Zilong with one sword, Lin Bai looked particularly relaxed. All the divine alliance warriors in the audience had expressions of disbelief on their faces. Many people were frightened and stunned by this scene. In the hearts of the Shenmeng warriors, the Shenmeng is God, the sky, and an invincible existence, but now, among the top 10 disciples of the outer sect, 2 warriors from the Divine Alliance were killed by Lin Bai's sword one after another, destroying the world in their hearts. I don't believe it. It's not true, it's not true. Many Divine Alliance warriors shook their heads, unwilling to believe this fact. Hey, these people are almost bringing the Divine Alliance to the sky. Lin Bai shook his head silently. Today is a life and death battle between me, Su Zilong and Xiang Tianyi. Both of them were killed by my sword. Today's battle ends here. Farewell. Lin Bai was about to jump off the stage of life and death and leave. Stop. Evil thief, kill me, the warrior of the Divine Alliance. Do you think you can leave alive today? That is, today we want to seek justice for senior brother Xiang Tianyi and senior brother Su Zilong. You can't get out of the life and death stage. Lin Bai, do you dare to fight me? Evil thief Lin Bai, how dare you fight? Just as Lin Bai was about to leave, he heard hundreds of people roaring at Lin Bai. Lin Bai looked back and saw that these were not the top 10 disciples of the outer sect. They were all ordinary warriors within the Divine Alliance, and their cultivation levels were not weak either. They were around the 8th level of true martial arts. Then come up together. Lin Bai looked around and sneered. What? You want us to come together? Arrogant, brothers, I can kill him without you taking action. It's senior brother Li Hua. Senior brother Li Hua is already at the 9th level of Shenwu. He is similar to senior brother Su Zilong. He will definitely win. Li Hua jumped onto the stage of life and death, his sword pointed at Lin Bai angrily. You dare to fight? Bring it on, Lin Bai said coldly. Okay. Eat my sword. Li Hua suddenly stabbed out with a sword. The sword was like a meteor that broke through the sky and earth, shattering the air in all directions, and went straight to Lin Bai's throat with incomparable ferocity. Your sword is beyond bad. Lin Bai didn't even want to pull out the evil wind sword. He punched forward with an unstoppable punch, shattering Li Hua's sword and hitting him hard in the chest. Poof. Li Hua spat out a mouthful of blood angrily, and his body flew down to the competition stage. He fell to the ground and twitched all over, losing all breath. Since you want to fight. The warriors of the Divine Alliance, all the warriors of the Divine Alliance under the Xuanwu realm, come up. Lin Bai punched the evil wind sword on the ground and shouted at the shouting Divine Alliance warriors with his eyes blazing. What? He wants to challenge all the warriors under the Xuanwu realm of the Divine Alliance. You are so arrogant. Li Changfeng, the warrior of the Divine Alliance, is here to kill you. At this time, a warrior once again jumped out from the spectator seats, stabbing Lin Bai between the eyebrows with a sword in the air. When this man flew out from the spectator seats, he didn't even think about talking nonsense to Lin Bai. He directly stabbed Lin Bai quickly and fiercely, and the sword flower burst into the sky, forcing him towards Lin Bai with extraordinary power. Roll! Lin Bai raised the evil wind sword and swept the man away without unsheathing it. He knocked the man off the martial arts platform and died on the spot. Senior brother Li Changfeng is also dead. Warriors from the Divine Alliance, come with me. The majesty of the Divine Alliance cannot be desecrated. Go together. All the Divine Alliance warriors in the spectator seat stood up at this moment. All of them looked at Lin Bai with evil looks on their faces and eyes burning with fire. One person leaps up, hundreds of people leap up, hundreds of people jumped into the air and smashed towards Lin Bai like meteors. Sword skills, fist light, and sword aura swayed out, forming a dragnet that enveloped Lin Bai from the sky. When Yuanjia roared, Su Qilin, Huang Fei, Zheng Yuqing, you go, you must not let Lin Bai leave the martial arts arena alive. Otherwise, our Divine Alliance will lose all face today. When Yuanjia's face turned ugly, and he was already fighting for the Divine Alliance at this moment. Good. Don't worry, senior brother Wen Yuanjia, if the three of us join forces, we can fight even if we are at the first level of Xuanwu realm. I don't believe that this Lin Bai, with his cultivation at the 8th level of Zhenwu, can defy the odds. Zheng Yuqing, Huang Fei, and Su Qilin all stepped out in one step and boarded the competition stage. Zheng Yuqing takes action. Huang Fei takes action. Su Qilin went too. It's over. These three people are not easy to mess with. Their cultivation has reached the half-step Xuanwu realm. They are absolutely terrifying. Lin Bai is so arrogant. He actually wants to challenge all the warriors under the Xuanwu realm of the Divine Alliance. Humph, I don't want to live long. Many warriors who did not take action looked at Lin Bai with sneers. In their eyes, Lin Bai was certain to die. Lin Bai, you are too impulsive. Li Jianqing said with a sad look on his face while sitting in the spectator seats. It took a lot of effort to create a good swordsman seedling, but he is about to die now. Li Qingxian also shook his head sadly. She did not believe that Lin Bai could fight his way out from being surrounded by hundreds of people. Only one person saw this scene and became extremely enthusiastic. That is Sun Qian. Sun Qian had witnessed Lin Bai killing everyone in the Baoyuan Canyon. Sun Qian had great confidence in Lin Bai. Lin Bai, kill them. Let them see your power. Sun Qian roared with a wild laugh. Haha, all of you who come on stage will die. Sun Qian laughed like he was half crazy and cheered for Lin Bai. Li Jianqing and Li Qingxian looked puzzled at Sun Qian. Lin Bai looked back at Sun Qian and smiled slightly. Sun Qian clenched his fists, his face full of excitement and madness. Lin Bai, suffer death. Take your life. Hundreds of warriors from the Divine Alliance roared again and again. Hundreds of attacks converged into a torrent of power, falling from the sky and hitting Lin Bai's head directly. This power made everyone feel frightened. The sky changed color, and the sun and moon lost their light. Before it fell, the ground was already cracked with layers of pressure. Strong winds were blowing from all directions and black smoke was rolling, as if it was the end of the world. During this attack, Lin Bai saw Zheng Yuqing, Huang Fei, Su Qilin, and hundreds of Divine Alliance warriors. It's over. When Yuanjia saw such a terrifying force bombarding him, he was finally sure that Lin Bai was bound to die. He took a long breath and finally felt relieved. Brush. Ji Bei's figure suddenly appeared under the stage of life and death. If Lin Bai made any mistake, he would take action immediately. At this moment, Li Shanqing finished one apple and took out a new one. He didn't even look at the movement on the life and death stage, just eating his own apple. Sword intent. Lin Bai looked directly at the falling torrent of power. A sword intent spread out from Lin Bai's body, and within a radius of 100 meters, every dust, every piece of gravel, every flower, every grass, and every object became Lin Bai's sword. Sword intent. Cut across the starry sky. Xiang. The evil wind sword was unsheathed angrily, and a crisp sword cry drowned out the roar of the audience. Please collect. Please collect. Want to collect? Brothers and sisters, say the important things 3 times, thank you. Chapter 85 Killing the Heroes with the Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiang. The evil wind sword was unsheathed angrily, and a crisp sword cry drowned out the roar of the audience. Holding the sword, he took 1 step forward and slashed down in anger, a sword energy that penetrates the sky and the earth, carrying unparalleled power, emitting a light more dazzling than the sun, and a power more terrifying than the gods, hitting that torrent with 1 sword. A touch. The forces collided and exploded, and a powerful impact was released immediately. The ground within 100 meters in radius was razed to the ground, the life and death platform instantly collapsed, and a large pit 10 meters deep was made on the ground. This collision of blows is truly shocking. At the same time, the entire Lingjian sect was trembling. That the impact of the collision spread out, killing more than 20 Divine Alliance warriors on the spot. Where's Lin Bai? Finally die, don't call this kid any more crazy. Hundreds of warriors from the Divine Alliance, together with Huang Fei, Su Qilin, and Jing Yuqing, can attack even the first level of the Xuanwu realm. Lin Bai is doomed. Finally dead. You have seen, this is the fate of being an enemy of our Divine Alliance. All the Shenmeng warriors pointed at Lin Bai's big hole, and laughed proudly at all the people watching the battle. This is what you will get if you offend the League of Gods. I will kill you without leaving any residue. Su Qilin also smiled coldly. The majesty of the Divine Alliance cannot be blasphemed. Jing Yuqing and Huang Fei also said firmly. Hey! Li Jianqing and Li Qingxian shook their heads slightly. Tai Dan asked Qi Xiaolong, Brother Xiaolong, Brother Lin Bai, I don't know. Qi Xiaolong was also filled with worry. Qi Xiaolong knew very well that just now hundreds of people from the Divine Alliance had attacked with 1 blow, paying attention to kill the warriors at the first level of the Xuanwu realm, but Lin Bai was only at the 8th level of the true martial realm. How could he possibly succeed? Qi Xiaolong already felt that Lin Bai might be in danger. When Sun Qian saw this scene, his face was still filled with excitement. He won't die, he won't die. Ahem. I'll go, it's such a big smoke. At this time, a gray-faced man slowly stood up in the big pit. With a wave of his hand, the smoke dispersed, revealing Lin Bai's figure. Lin Bai was now in a very embarrassed state, with more than a dozen injuries all over his body, but none of them were fatal. What? Lin Bai is not dead. This is impossible. The Alliance of Gods joined forces to attack, but they failed to kill Lin Bai. All the warriors were surprised. When Ji Bei saw this scene, his solemn old face finally showed a smile. The most excited person was Sun Qian. When he saw Lin Bai standing up, Sun Qian shouted excitedly. Lin Bai! Lin Bai! Lin Bai! Lin Bai! Sun Qian yelled at Lin Bai. Sun Qian, next time I compete in martial arts, I will definitely not ask you to come. You are a good audience, but you are very noisy. Lin Bai smiled and said to Sun Qian, when Huang Fei saw him, don't be afraid, everyone. Lin Bai is already seriously injured. I can kill him by myself. After saying that, Huang Fei struck towards Lin Bai. Lin Bai, do you still remember my brother Huang Feng? Today I am here to avenge him. Huang Fei said angrily. Too many people were killed, I can't even remember them. Lin Bai sneered. Damn it, go to hell. Huang Fei looked ferocious, and punched Lin Bai with a force that could destroy the world. You want to kill me, but you're not qualified enough. Lin Bai's sword with sword intent penetrated Huang Fei's heart as fast as lightning. Well. Huang Fei looked at his chest in disbelief and exclaimed, how is it possible? How can your sword be so fast? Lin Bai reached out and grabbed Huang Fei's storage bag, and then kicked Huang Fei's body off the competition platform. It's you next. Lin Bai held up his sword, and the evil wind sword roared slightly. The sword's power increased greatly, and it was as cold as ice for thousands of miles. Kill! Lin Bai rushed into the ranks of the warriors of the Divine Alliance, and with one sweep of his sword, he killed 5 or 6 warriors on the spot. Lin Bai, stop being so arrogant, that the Divine Alliance warriors immediately counterattacked. Among them, Jing Yuqing rushed towards Lin Bai. Lin Bai, give back my brother's life. You still dare to attack me, you must want to die. After Lin Bai killed all the warriors within 10 steps with one sweep of his sword, Jing Yuqing also fell in front of Lin Bai with a vicious punch. That's fine. You've been chasing me for half a month in the Luoyan Mountains. It's time to settle this account. God damn Lone Star. Lin Bai stabbed out with his sword, and the starlight sword energy hit Jing Yuqing's chest. No. Jing Yuqing secretly yelled, running his whole body's energy shield to block Lin Bai's sword. Withered wood sword. After Jing Yuqing struck Lin Bai with a sword, he turned his hand into a sword and slashed down angrily. A 100-meter-sized sword exploded out, slashing towards Lin Bai like the heaven and the earth were shattering. The Deadwood Hand Sword is a 5th-grade Xian-level palm technique. It is particularly terrifying and its power is considered to be top-notch. Seeing the Deadwood knife coming towards him, Lin Bai secretly thought that Jing Yuqing was indeed much stronger than Xiang Tianyi and Su Zilong, but this wave of the sword is enough to defeat the combination of Su Zilong and Xiang Tianyi. This palm is indeed very strong, but it is no match for me. Sword intent. Meteor falling moon slash. The sword intent increased greatly, and Lin Bai's hair became automatic without wind. The sword exploded and slashed down, the sword energy soared into the sky and killed him. Rumble. The Dao Gang collided with the sword chi, and the Dao Gang was immediately swallowed up by the sword chi. The power of the sword chi remained undiminished, moving forward and hitting Jing Yuqing's chest like a broken bamboo. Puff, with the horrified expression on Jing Yuqing's face, this sword cut Jing Yuqing in half. Now our account has been settled. Lin Bai stared at Jing Yuqing's body and sneered. He killed senior brother Jing Yuqing. Revenge for senior brother Jing Yuqing. Avenge senior brother Jing Yuqing. The warriors of the Divine Alliance rushed forward again. Lin Bai raised his sword and faced the attack. One man fights 100 men, one sword blocks 100 weapons. Su Qilin hid in the crowd and did not take action. He had already seen that although Lin Bai only had the strength of the 8th level of Xinwu, his combat power was not weaker than the half-step Xuanwu realm. It's not a good idea to resist forcefully now. Withdraw first. Su Qilin said lightly. Su Qilin, where are you going? Just as Su Qilin was about to leave, Lin Bai suddenly cut his way out of the crowd and struck Su Qilin with his sword, brush. Su Qilin's steps were particularly mysterious and extremely fast. Su Qilin easily dodged Lin Bai's surprise attack with just a slip of his feet. Lin Bai, don't bully others too much, Su Qilin said coldly. When he looked at Lin Bai, a cold look flashed in his eyes. He secretly pinched the fist in his hand. If Lin Bai made another move, Su Qilin would immediately fight back. When Lin Bai heard Su Qilin's words don't bully others too much, he suddenly laughed wildly. You're just now telling me that bullying is too much. Don't you think it's too late? Chapter 86 Angry when Yuanjia. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When Lin Bai heard Su Qilin's words don't bully others too much, he suddenly laughed wildly. You're just now telling me that bullying is too much. Don't you think it's too late? When you surrounded and killed me in the Luoyan Mountains, didn't you think that you were going too far in bullying me? Xiang Tianyi wanted to kill me before the trial started. Isn't he going too far? Su Zilong's younger brother put a reward on my life. Su Zilong is unreasonable. Isn't this going too far? You, a warrior from the Divine Alliance, are going too far in besieging me, aren't you going too far? I defeated Xiang Tianyi, and your Divine Alliance said I was lying. I killed Su Zilong again, but you said you would avenge them. Are you a bunch of pigs? Don't you know where this place is? This is the platform of life and death. A place where life and death are determined by destiny, wealth and honor. Here, if I kill someone, not even the Lingjian sect has the right to arrest me. But you are unwilling to let me leave. Are you going too far, Lin Bai gritted his teeth and said to Su Qilin with angry eyes. Lin Bai was already extremely angry at these unfair treatments. Go to hell. Just as Lin Bai was speaking, Su Qilin suddenly attacked. With ghostly movements, he quickly approached Lin Bai. A short sword suddenly came out of his hand and pierced Lin Bai's abdomen. Poof! Lin Bai received another blow from the sword, and blood gushed out. A warrior from the Divine Alliance, sneak attack from behind, is this too much of a deception? Lin Bai asked with a sneer. Su Qilin said coldly, here, the Divine Alliance is the sky, the Divine Alliance is the gods, the Divine Alliance is the king's law, and the Divine Alliance is the rules. I said it's okay for you to deceive others, but it's not okay for you to accuse me of the Divine Alliance. Su Qilin continued to sneer. Lin Bai, you can go in peace. Su Qilin, do you really think you can kill me? Lin Bai asked with a sneer. I have thrust my sword into your abdomen now, how can you still fight back? Su Qilin laughed wildly. Do you know there is a secret method in this world called soul searching? It can overturn a warrior's lifetime of memories in an instant. Lin Bai said with a sneer. What? Su Qilin was stunned. Lin Bai suddenly raised his palm and struck it on the top of Su Qilin's head. He gritted his teeth and roared, search for souls. Buzz. Su Qilin's head seemed to have been opened and his memories were read through. Lin Bai found the Qilin step training method in Su Qilin's memory. Qilin steps, Xian level 9th grade movement technique. That when Lin Bai learned about Kalinbu's rank, he laughed wildly with excitement. After the soul search was completed, Su Qilin was kicked out by Lin Bai, whose heart was shattered. If you stab me with a sword, I will kill you. This business is very good. Lin Bai killed Su Qilin and used his backhand sword to kill the Divine Alliance warrior. Lin Bai, please spare your life. Senior brother Lin Bai, please let me go. Help, senior brother Yuanjia, help us. I won't fight. I admit defeat. Senior brother Lin Bai, please let us go. Lin Bai looked at these Divine Alliance warriors with cold eyes. When they rushed forward to kill Lin Bai just now, they showed no mercy at all. Now I know how to beg for mercy, now I know how to admit defeat. It's too late. Lin Bai laughed wildly, flew out with a sword, and chopped off all the heads of these people. Lin Bai, stop. At this time, when Yuanjia stood up from his seat. If you tell me to stop, I will stop. Then I will lose face. Lin Bai laughed wildly. Damn it. When Yuanjia planned to ignore the rules of the life and death stage and directly kill Lin Bai. The moment when Yuanjia took action, three figures quickly stopped him. The first one to take action was the Elder of the Life and Death platform. If there are warriors watching the fight who interfere in the competition on the life and death stage, the elders will take action. The second one is Ji Bei. Ji Bei is determined to protect Lin Bai, so it is normal for him to take action. The third one is a woman, Li Qingxian. Three of you, do you have to be enemies of our Divine Alliance? When Yuanjia asked angrily, Elder of the Life and Death platform, no one can challenge the rules of the Life and Death platform, not even the Divine Alliance. Ji Bei said, it is my duty as an elder to maintain the Sect's rules. If you want to fight Lin Bai, you can challenge him, and I will never interfere. What about you? Li Qingxian, do you dare to be an enemy of our Divine Alliance? When Yuanjia asked, glaring at Li Qingxian. I don't dare to be an enemy of the Divine Alliance, but according to the rules of the life and death arena, people watching the battle cannot interfere. As a disciple of the Spirit Sword Sect, it is the responsibility to uphold the rules of the Spirit Sword Sect. Li Qingxian also said. Okay, I've taken note of all three of you. Let's see. The Divine Alliance won't let this matter go. When Yuanjia returned to his seat angrily and glared at Lin Bai, about half an hour, more than 100 Divine Alliance warriors in the audience were all killed by Lin Bai's sword. Basically no one of the Divine Alliance warriors who rushed to the competition stage was alive. When Yuanjia was sitting in the audience seat, his veins bulging out with anger, Lin Bai, do you dare to fight? Lin Bai had just finished the battle when he heard Yuanjia's roar, and immediately sneered, "If you suppress your cultivation to the 9th level of Zhenwu and come to power, I will still kill you like a dog. Yuanjia, do you dare to suppress your realm to the 9th level of Zhenwu and fight me on the life and death stage?" Lin Bai glared at Yuanjia and said, when Yuanjia was stunned, "You, Lin Bai, the Divine Alliance will not let this matter go. The ranking competition for outer disciples will begin in 1 month. I believe you will not refuse to participate. As long as you dare to come, I will definitely kill you. Avenge the dead warriors of our Divine Alliance." When Yuanjia angrily waved his sleeves and walked out of the stage of life and death, the whole stage of life and death was in mourning. In today's battle, the unshakable mountain of the Divine Alliance seemed to have been shaken. "I will naturally go to the ranking battle. When the time comes, if you want to fight, I will send you to hell," Lin Bai said with a cold expression. "Li Qingxian, if you dare to support Lin Bai, your sword alliance has finally come to an end in the Lingjian sect. We will see. Next, I will let you see how terrifying the anger of the Divine Alliance is." When Yuanjia glared at Li Qingxian threateningly, as for Ji Bei and the elders of the life and death platform, Yuanjia could not shake them, but Yuanjia still looked down upon Li Qingxian, although Li Qingxian is also one of the top 10 disciples of the outer sect, his strength is far below him. When Yuanjia was furious and left, then all the warriors of the Divine Alliance stood together. Among the crowd, a woman covered in white robes and a white cloak showed a hint of murderous intent towards Lin Bai. Lin Bai noticed this trace of murderous intent, looked back, and happened to look at the woman, Yi Suxin. This woman was apparently Yi Suxin, who escaped from Lin Bai's sword during the review test, that is, the fiancée of the young master of the Lingjian sect. It has only been 3 months since Yi Suxin joined the Lingjian sect, and his cultivation has actually broken through to the 9th level of the true martial realm. He can be called a peerless genius. Remember to bookmark it after reading it, thank you. Chapter 87 Young Sect Master. Su Tsang. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Bai did not expect Yi Suxin's arrival. Lin Bai had a trace of fear in his heart for this woman, especially her ability to control animals, which was so powerful. In the review test 3 months ago, if Lin Bai hadn't appeared, Yi Suxin would have been able to control 3 true martial realm monsters and sweep the entire field. "Li Bai, you are so awesome." Qi Xiaolong ran to Lin Bai with excitement on his face and shouted happily. Brother Lin Bai, Taidan also had a red face. "Awesome. The price paid is too heavy." Lin Bai's face was pale and he looked very bad. Looking at the wounds on his body that were constantly bleeding, he leaned on Qi Xiaolong's body. "Xiaolong, go back first," Lin Bai said. Qi Xiaolong took a look and saw that Lin Bai was standing still, with blood flowing into a pool of blood at his feet. Okay, go back first." Lin Bai was almost carried back to his residence by Taidan and Qi Xiaolong. "Xiaolong, I will give you 30,000 spiritual stones. You go to the treasure house and buy me some healing elixirs." "Damn it, I went to the treasure house that day and forgot to buy the healing elixir." Lin Bai took out 30,000 spirit stones and handed them to Qi Xiaolong. "You can actually bring out so many spiritual stones." Qi Xiaolong was surprised. Although Qi Xiaolong and Taidan also have spiritual stones on their bodies, they are not many, only a few hundred pieces. 30,000 spirit stones are a considerable fortune for the outer disciples. "The killing is coming." Lin Bai grinned. "Okay, I'll go now, Taidan, take care of Lin Bai." After Qi Xiaolong finished speaking, he quickly ran out of the treasure house. Half an hour later, Qi Xiaolong came back and gave Lin Bai many pills. Lin Bai took them immediately and the wound stopped bleeding. 3 days later, Lin Bai finally recovered. In the past 3 days, the news that Lin Bai invited hundreds of warriors from the God of War Alliance immediately spread throughout the Lingjian sect. It even alarmed the inner disciples of the Divine Alliance. The disciples of the inner sect of the Shenmen League said, "As long as Lin Bai dares to enter the inner sect, he will be beaten to a bloody head." As for the outer disciple of the Shen League, Yuanjia has made it clear that in the ranking battle in 1 month, Lin Baixiang's head will be taken. Baiyun Peak. Li Shanqing briefly told Ling Tianzi about Lin Bai. Ling Tianzi nodded with satisfaction and said, "Not bad, it is a good seedling that can be cultivated." "Master, are you really planning to take him in?" Li Shanqing asked curiously. It's hard to say now. The talent he has shown has not yet met my requirements for accepting a disciple." Ling Tianzi said with a casual smile. "I'm afraid Lin Bai is in a miserable state now. After this battle, he has officially broken with the Divine Alliance. In the future, wherever there are disciples of the Divine Alliance, Lin Bai will be ostracized at all levels. And the Divine Alliance is the Young Sect Masters Alliance. If Lin Bai makes too much noise, the Young Sect Master may intervene." And Xiang Tianyi, who Lin Bai killed, was the only son of the Great Elder. The Great Elder is known to be a petty person. Even if he attacks Lin Bai without knowing it, he will probably make it difficult for Lin Bai secretly. Li Shanqing said with a slight smile. Ling Tianzi said, Interesting. If Lin Bai wants to become a core disciple, he must first solve the obstacle of the young sect leader. And the young sect leader is the only son of the leader of the Spirit Sword sect and the apprentice of the Great Elder. Being an enemy of him is equivalent to being an enemy of the Lingjian sect. This is the test. If a sword cultivator shrinks, he is not worthy of being a sword cultivator, let alone my disciple. Ling Tianzi said calmly. Li Shanqing said with a smile, "No, in order to pass Master's test, I had to go to great lengths. Lin Bai is already very relaxed now. I have 4 unique skills as a master: elixir, sword, and formation. The way of alchemy has been passed on to your senior brother. The art of swordsmanship has been passed down to your second senior sister. The formation has been passed on to you. Only for this swordsmanship, I have been searching for it for many years, but I have not been able to find a suitable candidate. If Lin Bai can pass my assessment, it would be a good idea to teach him the art of swordsmanship." Ling Tianzi said deeply. "It seems that I will have a younger junior brother soon." Li Shanqing said with a smile. Ling Tianzi smiled and said, "Not necessarily yet. He must first resist the pressure of the young sect master. If he rises to the challenge, he will soar into the sky; if he retreats, he will become unknown." On the other side of Lingjian sect, in the inner gate, the Great Elder shattered a pavilion in rage. Tianyi. Upon hearing the news that Xiang Tianyi had died in the battle, the Great Elder almost rushed out in anger and killed Lin Bai. "Master, what's wrong?" Down the hall, a man with a handsome face, neither humble nor arrogant, raised his head and asked calmly. This man was dressed in a golden robe and looked noble. His eyes were calm as if he didn't care about the world. He had a handsome face and extraordinary manners. He was the young master of the Lingjian sect, the son of the leader of the Spirit Sword sect, disciple of the Great Elder, Su Cang. Su Cang was a very scheming person. When he was 13 years old, he took the initiative to worship the Great Elder, and Su Cang's father is surprisingly King Su, one of the 10 kings of Shenwu. Why doesn't Su Cang practice with King Su? Do you want to worship under the Great Elder? There is no other reason. In the Spirit Sword sect, the master of the Spirit Sword sect and the Great Elder are considered to be the 2 strongest people. Once he gets their support, Su Cang will be sure to take the position of the master of the Spirit Sword sect. Su Cang is a disciple of the Great Elder, and the Elder Pavilion will support him in becoming the leader, and since he is the only son of the Supreme Headmaster, the Headmaster will also support him, with the support of the 2 of them, who in the entire Lingjian sect dares to resist. "Lin Bai, how dare you kill Tianyi?" The elder's veins popped out in anger. "Tianyi is dead." Su Cang was confused for a moment, then looked back at the 9 men and women sitting not far behind him. These 9 men and women are clearly the 9 core disciples of the contemporary Spirit Sword sect. All of them are Su Cang's confidants. The 9 core disciples nodded in unison and said, "Before, he was killed by a disciple named Lin Bai. Not only Xiang Tianyi died, but nearly 100 of the outer disciples of the Shen League also lost their lives. They were all killed by him, including Zheng Yuqing, Su Qilin and others." "Tell me in detail." Su Cang said calmly. Immediately, the 9 core disciples told Su Cang what happened on the stage of life and death. That's it. Master, you don't need to panic. I'll just tell Qi Xian to get Lin Bai's head. It's such a small matter, so I won't bother Master to take action. Su Cang smiled. Qi Xian. The first among the top 10 disciples of the outer sect, his cultivation level is extremely terrifying. The great elder nodded and said, Okay, Canger, I'll leave this matter to you. You must kill Lin Bai. Canger, as long as you kill Lin Bai, you will get the support of the entire Elder Pavilion and become the next leader, with a 100% chance. Hearing these words, Su Cang showed an excited smile. In the past few years, the Great Elder has never made it clear that he would side with Su Cang, but today, the Great Elder said that as long as Lin Bai can be killed, the Great Elder and the Elder Pavilion will support Su Cang. This made Su Cang overjoyed. It's just an outer disciple who ordered Qi Xian to take Lin Bai's head and hand it over to my master within 3 months. Su Cang turned back to one of the core disciples behind him and said. The core disciple responded, walked out of the inner gate, came to the outer gate, and found Qi Xian. Chapter 88 The Place of Origin. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. Half a month later. Lin Bai's injuries were completely healed. After that battle, Lin Bai's cultivation actually improved a little. Sure enough, fighting is the fastest way to practice, Lin Bai said. I have killed so many warriors from the Divine Alliance. I am afraid that in the ranking battle soon, the Divine Alliance will not let me go easily. When Yuanjia is at the 3rd level of Xuanwu realm. I am not his opponent yet. Besides, there is also Qi Xian, who is number 1 in the outer sect. It is said that this person has reached the 5th level of Xuanwu realm. It seems that in the coming time, we still need to improve our cultivation a lot. Lin Bai said firmly. Originally, Lin Bai planned to use the next time to break through the God and Demon prison suppression technique to the 2nd level, but in this situation, Lin Bai needed to cultivate himself to resist the enemy. When? At this time, a thick bell sounded from the Lingjian sect, spreading throughout the entire Lingjian sect. The 10,000 swords bell is ringing. What's going on? Why does the 10,000 swords bell ring? Lin Bai also heard the sound of the bell and asked doubtfully, why is the Yuanjia bell echoing? In the Lingjian sect, there is a large spiritual bell. Whenever it rings, it means that something big will happen in the Lingjian sect. Lin Bai, did you hear that? Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan both ran out of the room and said in panic. Let's go and have a look. Lin Bai said. Immediately, Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan walked out of the room, only to find that there were countless outer disciples in the family, running towards the outer square. Not long after, Lin Bai also came to the square. How is this going? What happened, and why did the 10,000 swords bell ring? Lin Bai heard that the warriors around him all looked puzzled. It seemed that he was not the only one who didn't know what was going on. Lin Bai. At this time, a man and a woman came over. The man is Li Jianxing and the woman is Li Qingxian. It turns out to be the leader of the Sword Alliance. Thank you to Senior Sister Li for your generous action that day. Jianxing, you're fine. Lin Bai said with a faint smile. Li Jianxing smiled and said, this is my sister. Your sister? Lin Bai was surprised. It turns out that Li Jianxing's sister is Li Qingxian. Li Qingxian smiled and said, it doesn't matter, I can't stand the Sword Alliance being so unreasonable. Lin Bai smiled casually and asked, you know what happened? Why did the elders ring the 10,000 swords bell? Li Qingxian shook his head and said, I don't know either. Oh, that's it. It seems we can only wait here. Lin Bai, Li Qingxian, Li Jianxing, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan stood together, waiting for the elder to come out and explain. Not long after, almost half of the entire Lingjian sect's outer disciples arrived. At this time an elder came out, Ji Bei. Ji Bei raised his voice and said, all the outer disciples, I have rang the 10,000 swords bell today to summon you here for the origin of the Luoyan mountain range. What? The place of origin appears again? Oh my God, I must go get something good this time. The origin has appeared, haha, so in this ranking match, I will definitely be one of the top 10 disciples. Many warriors became enthusiastic when they heard about the place of origin. Lin Bai was confused. Where did it originate? Turning around, Li Jianxing, Li Qingxian, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan all looked excited. Lin Bai was stunned and thought, they all seem to know, it seems I am the only one who doesn't know. Ji Bei explained, in the place of origin, the founder of the Lingjian sect practiced in the place of origin for 3 years. After coming out, he founded the Lingjian sect in one fell swoop, which shocked the world. Since the founding of the Spirit Sword sect, there have been many disciples who mistakenly entered the place of origin and got an opportunity. After they came out, they soared into the sky. In the place of origin, there are century-old elixirs, 1,000-year elixirs, 10,000-year elixirs, spiritual springs, rare ores, and many more treasures. The place of origin suddenly appears again this time, and all disciples below the earth martial realm can enter it. But you have to be careful. On the other side of the Luoyan mountains, our Lingjian sect's mortal enemy, the Qingtian sect, will also send disciples there. The place of origin will not appear for long, up to 7 days. All disciples who want to go to the place of origin should go there quickly. Ji Bei's voice was like thunder, alarming thousands of outer disciples. As soon as Ji Bei finished speaking, thousands of disciples turned around and ran towards the Luoyan mountain range. Lin Bai, are you going? Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan said in surprise. Go, it's such a treasured land, I'd be sorry for myself if I didn't go. Lin Bai smiled. Li Qingxian said, Lin Bai, I'll take my leave now. This time the origin appears, I want to take the Sword Alliance with me. Okay, go ahead. Lin Bai nodded. Let's go to the Luoyan mountains. Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan walked towards the Luoyan mountains together. On Baiyun Peak, Ling Tianzi and Li Shanqing stood side by side, both looking at the depths of the Luoyan mountain range. Li Shanqing shook his head and said, there is nothing good. Just the few 1,000-year elixirs and spiritual springs are of some value. The other things are not worth mentioning. That's not necessarily true. You can actually meet dragon bone gold here. Ling Tianzi smiled faintly. What? Dragon bone gold? Li Shanqing looked seriously again. After a while, Li Shanqing exclaimed, it's really dragon bone gold, and it's as big as a fist. Come on, master, sit down, I'll go to the place of origin. What are you going to do? The origin can only accommodate warriors below the earth martial realm. As soon as you enter, the origin will collapse and he will sink into the void again. Ling Tianzi said angrily, besides, this dragon bone gold is of no use to you. Give it to Lin Bai. Go and notify Lin Bai and tell him to get dragon bone gold. This will be of great help to him in the future. All right, Li Shanqing responded and went to find Lin Bai, who was walking towards the place of origin in the Luoyan mountains. As soon as he arrived at the entrance of the origin, Lin Bai saw a young man standing in front of him. Senior brother, Lin Bai asked in surprise. In Lin Bai's memory, Li Shanqing rarely left Baiyun Peak. Why did you suddenly run down this time? Li Shanqing smiled and said, Lin Bai, I have something to tell you. Lin Bai was stunned for a moment, then said to Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan, you guys wait for me for a while. Li Shanqing and Lin Bai walked away for a while. Lin Bai asked, Senior brother, does master have any instructions? Li Shanqing smiled and said, you haven't become a master yet. What do you call a master who speaks to you? Ha ha ha, isn't this a matter of time? Lin Bai smiled awkwardly. Master asked me to tell you that there is a piece of dragon bone gold in the place of origin. You must get it. Li Shanqing said. What dragon bone gold? Lin Bai had never heard of it. Li Shanqing explained, dragon bone gold is the magical iron formed by condensing the essence of the dragon's bones after the death of the real dragon. It is a sacred object specially used to refine spiritual weapons. Many weapon refiners can encounter something that cannot be obtained. A piece of dragon bone gold the size of a finger can be sold for tens of millions of spiritual stones. And this piece of origin land is as big as a fist. I think it's worth hundreds of millions of spiritual stones. What? Hundreds of millions of spiritual stones. Lin Bai was shocked by Li Shanqing's words. What magical iron? It's worth hundreds of millions of spiritual stones. Master asked me to tell you that this dragon bone gold will be very important to you in the future, so you must get it. Li Shanqing said earnestly. I understand, senior brother, please tell the master that I am bound to get this dragon bone gold. Lin Bai said seriously and firmly, just kidding, this dragon bone gold is worth hundreds of millions of spiritual stones. You won't get rich if you get it. Besides, Emperor Ling said that this thing would be of great use to Lin Bai in the future, so Lin Bai had to work hard to get it. Okay, go ahead. After Li Shanqing finished speaking, he drifted away. After Lin Bai came back, Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan were very sensible and did not ask who the man was or what he had said to Lin Bai. Come on, let's enter the place of origin. Lin Bai and Qi Xiaolong Tai Dan stepped into the place of origin one after another. The place of origin is said to be a flying land. This land is covered with spiritual flowers and spiritual grasses, as well as many rare ores that cannot be seen in the world, but in fact, the origin just sinks into the void. Whenever the space and void become weak, the origin will appear in the Luoyan Mountains. When they arrived at the Luoyan Mountains, Lin Bai and others looked up and saw that there was a huge piece of land above the entire Luoyan Mountains. This is the place of origin. The place of origin is not on the ground, but floating in midair. Chapter 89 Murderous Intentions, please collect. Please recommend. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Let's go up. Qi Xiaolong, Tai Dan, and Lin Bai jumped up and landed on the ground at the place of origin. Stepping into this land, the spiritual energy in the air makes people almost suffocated. What a rich spiritual energy. The spiritual energy here is at least 3 times that of the outside world. Tai Dan said in surprise. Yes, if I practice here for a month, I will definitely step into the 3rd level of Xuanwu realm. Qi Xiaolong also said with surprise. Lin Bai took a look with his eyes and saw that the place of origin was very huge, with mountains and mountains on it. Lin Bai arrived very late. Many disciples had already set foot in the origin to hunt for treasures. This is the holy sun flower. Qi Xiaolong saw a beautiful flower leaning on a gap in the stone. He took a closer look and exclaimed in surprise. Qi Xiaolong walked over quickly, pulled out the sacred sun flower, and said ecstatically, the holy sun flower is worth 10,000 spirit stones and is a high-quality elixir for refining second-grade elixirs. It's so easy to find a sacred sun flower. This kind of elixir is very expensive and hard to find in the outside market, Qi Xiaolong said ecstatically. Our divine alliance saw this elixir first. Hand over the holy sun flower. At this time, 5 or 6 divine alliance warriors ran over angrily, glaring at Lin Bai and others and scolding them harshly. Stop and hand over the holy sun flower. 5 or 6 divine alliance warriors blocked Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong, and Tianyi's path. Shen Meng. Lin Bai sneered. After the battle on the life and death platform, Lin Bai had no good impression of the divine alliance at all. Now that he saw the warriors of the divine alliance appearing in front of him again, Lin Bai felt murderous intent in his heart. Lin Bai stepped up and prepared to go out and kill these divine alliance warriors. Lin Bai, these bastards, you need to take action. I will do it. Qi Xiaolong sneered, stepped forward and sneered, you bastard, the holy sun flower is right here. If you have the ability, just grab it yourself. Ha ha ha, a warrior of the 9th level of true martial arts dares to shout in front of us. Boy, do you know what will happen if you offend our divine alliance? Let me see if I don't pull out all the sharp teeth in your mouth today. Brothers, do it. These 5 or 6 divine alliance warriors all sneered and sarcastically attacked Qi Xiaolong. The terrifying power gathered together in an instant and smashed towards Qi Xiaolong like a mountain. Ha ha ha, with all your abilities, you still want to kill me? Qi Xiaolong laughed wildly, rushed forward quickly, punched hard, and collided with several people. Both sides took 5 or 6 steps back. So strong, he actually blocked the siege of 6 of us. After these 6 Divine Alliance warriors were repulsed by Qi Xiaolong, they all said with cold eyes. Yes, Xiaolong's cultivation should be considered the best among his peers. Lin Bai said happily, looking back at Tidan's cultivation level. Lin Bai had painstakingly given Tidan some guidance in the past few days, and he had just broken through to the 8th level of Zhenwu. Compared with Qi Xiaolong, he was still far behind. Brother Lin Bai, I'm going to have some fun too. Tidan smiled at Lin Bai, found an opponent from the 6 warriors, and the two started fighting. Don't worry, I'll take action for you. Lin Bai smiled faintly, hearing Lin Bai's words. Qi Xiaolong and Tidan both laughed loudly. With Lin Bai's raiding formation, as long as he wasn't a master of the Xuanwu realm, ordinary people couldn't hurt Lin Bai. Qi Xiaolong's punches were so fierce that he killed 3 people in one fell swoop, while Tidan was able to kill a Divine Alliance warrior even with the strength of 9 bulls and 2 tigers. In the blink of an eye, only 2 of the Divine Alliance warriors were left, seriously injured. Don't be complacent. If you offend our Divine Alliance, you will all die. After saying that, the warrior took out a jade tablet from his storage bag and crushed it into pieces. Not good, Qi Xiaolong exclaimed, trying to stop him, but it was too late. Qi Xiaolong was so angry that he killed both of them with 2 punches. What's wrong? Xiaolong, Lin Bai asked curiously. Lin Bai, what he just crushed was the communication jade stone unique to the Divine Alliance. Once it is crushed, all the Divine Alliance warriors will sense it. I am afraid that many Divine Alliance warriors are coming towards us now. Qi Xiaolong said. Then this is really troublesome. Lin Bai said with a serious look on his face. If he came to the true martial realm, Lin Bai would not be afraid. But if he came to the Xuanwu realm, it would be difficult. Let's go quickly, Qi Xiaolong suggested. Good. Lin Bai responded, turned around and left without saying a word. Where are you going? Kill my Divine Alliance warriors and leave them all to die. Suddenly at this time, there was a burst of shouting from the horizon, and a sharp sword light slashed down, tearing the sky apart and slashing towards Qi Xiaolong. Qi Xiaolong was shocked. Under this sword light, he felt the breath of death. Roll. Lin Bai flew out with his sword and blocked the sword light. The power of this sword is not weak, almost as powerful as Su Qilin. What a boy, you can actually block my sword. A man walked out of the forest, covered in black robes, with eyes as cold as poisonous snakes. He put away his long sword and strode out like a meteor. Who is coming? Lin Bai asked coldly. Being able to wield such a powerful sword is definitely not an ordinary person, and looking at this person's cultivation level, he is only at the 1st level of Xuanwu. Inner disciple of Lingjian's sect, Qi Yu. The man in black said coldly, to advance from the outer sect to the inner sect, you only need to complete the tasks assigned by the Lingjian sect to be promoted to the inner sect. There is no cultivation limit for entering the inner gate, but generally without the strength of the Xuanwu realm, promotion tasks cannot be completed. So this can be considered a hidden rule, and people like Yuanjia, Qi Xian, and Li Qingxian have already broken through to the Xuanwu realm, but they still refuse to leave the outer sect. One is because they have huge power in the outer sect. Second, if they stay in the outer sect, they can continue to be the top 10 disciples and be respected by others. But once they enter the inner sect, it will be a place where geniuses compete, so they might as well stay in the outer sect. Qi Xiaolong was so frightened by this sword that he trembled and his eyes were panicked. Qi Yu. Lin Bai's eyes were full of coldness. Qi Yu looked at Qi Xiaolong and Tidan coldly, and said, You two dare to kill our Divine Alliance warriors, please stand up and suffer death. Qi Xiaolong and Tidan were sweating profusely. They had no confidence at all facing a warrior at the 1st level of Xuanwu realm. Both of them looked at Lin Bai. If you want to kill them, you have to get through me first. Lin Bai said coldly. You, a warrior at the 8th level of true martial arts, dare to scream in front of me. No matter what, killing one is a killing, and killing 2 is a killing. Since you want to die so much, I will send you on the road together. Storm sword technique. Qi Yu's sword flew up, and the sword energy swept across like a strong wind, sweeping towards Lin Bai. in this whirlwind sword energy, Lin Bai felt a chill that made his heart palpitate. Lin Bai, be careful. Brother Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan both shouted worriedly. Qilin step, Lin Bai turned around and avoided Qi Yu's sword in an instant. The physical skills are okay, but after all, it's hard to reach the level of elegance. Wind and residual clouds, Qi Yu saw Lin Bai dodge, and came towards Lin Bai with another sword strike. The sword light spread across the sky, cracking the sky and cracking the earth, carrying unrivaled power, and came towards Lin Bai with a strike. Xiang, the evil wind sword was unsheathed and swept wildly with the sword. Meteor chasing moon slash, boom. A deafening sound spread, and Lin Baijian coughed out a mouthful of blood and took 3 steps back with a pale face. Qi was also very embarrassed, vomiting blood, and had 5 sword marks on his body from 5 sword rays. Damn it! Qi Yu found that his sword was actually at a disadvantage, and he was furious. I will definitely kill you with this sword. Kill! Qi Yu stepped forward quickly and rushed away. When he was approaching Lin Bai, a sword light struck from the sky. Then let's see who kills whom. Lin Bai gritted his teeth, his eyes were fierce, and the evil wind sword rushed forward angrily. The two of them clashed with each other. After several hundred sword clashes, Lin Bai severely injured Qi Yu. Impossible. You are at the 8th level of Zhenwu, and I am at the 1st level of Xuanwu. How could you possibly hurt me? Qi Yu roared in disbelief. Go to hell and ask the king of hell. Lin Bai swept his sword across, and the sharp sword light cut off Qi Yu's head. Lin Bai, are you okay? Qi Xiaolong asked worriedly. Lin Bai said, let's go first. Other warriors from the Divine Alliance will be here soon. The 3 of them hurriedly ran out of the forest. Lin Bai's face was as dark as water, but there was a hint of excitement in his heart. This time against Qi Yu, I didn't use my trump card. However, I am already qualified to kill the 1st level Xuanwu. Once you use your trump card, killing the 1st level Xuanwu is like slaughtering a dog, Lin Bai said with ecstasy in his heart. Lin Bai's trump card, Sword Intent, Dragon Power Sword Qi, Divine Dragon Arm. Now, if I use my trump card, I should be able to fight against the Xuanwu 2nd level. In the place of origin, Lin Bai and the others went on a rampage and found many spiritual flowers, spiritual grasses, and rare ores along the way, allowing Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan to return home with a full load. Code words are not easy to collect. Please collect. Thanks, brothers. Chapter 99 Treasure Mountains. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 5 days later, during these 5 days, Lin Bai also discovered that there were not only warriors from the Spirit Sword Sect in this place of origin, there is also a warrior from the Qingtian Sect. The Qingtian Sect is a sect on the other side of the Luoyan Mountains. It is a third-rate sect, but in recent years, the Qingtian Sect has risen, and it seems that it is going to trample the Lingjian Sect under its feet. The Qingtian Sect and the Lingjian Sect were also fighting fiercely. The 2 major sects are competing for resources, elixirs, monsters, and disciples. They are in the same situation. The disciples of the sect will fight each other when they meet. Lin Bai has a mountain of elixirs, all of which are filled with elixirs. Qi Xiaolong pointed to a mountain not far away and said. Lin Bai was ecstatic. It seems like no one has noticed. Let's go and get them all. Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan rushed to the treasure mountain and took away all the elixirs, herbs, flowers, and rare ores in the mountain. It took half a day for the 3 of them to completely empty this treasure mountain. Are you ready? Lin Bai asked. Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan were both speechless with excitement, looking at the elixirs and herbs in the storage bags with ecstatic expressions on their faces. Okay. Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan said. Let's go. It's not a good place to stay for a long time. Lin Bai took Tai Dan and Qi Xiaolong and headed straight down the mountain. Not long after the 3 people left, a large group of warriors arrived. Seeing the bare treasure mountain, their teeth itched with anger. Oh no, there are 9 treasure mountains in total, and one of them was hollowed out so quickly. Damn it, who hollowed out this treasure mountain? the Qingtian sect or the Lingjian sect, these warriors cursed angrily, at night. Lin Bai, Qi Xiaolong, and Tai Dan gathered together to count the results of the 5 days. We now have 15,000 elixirs that last for 100 years, 5,000 elixirs that last for 1,000 years, and 100 elixirs that last for 5,000 years. If we take all of this and sell it, we can get at least 5 to 600,000 spiritual stones. Qi Xiaolong said with fiery eyes. Tai Dan and Lin Bai also looked excited and happy. Qi Xiaolong handed the storage bag to Lin Bai and said, Lin Bai, when fighting for these elixirs, you contribute the most, so you can distribute them. We are all brothers, so just divide it equally. But our cultivation level is too low now. We should use these elixirs to improve our cultivation level. After all, the spiritual spring has not appeared yet. Once the spiritual spring appears, there will definitely be another fight. Let's improve our cultivation quickly. Lin Bai suggested. On the previous treasure mountain, Lin Bai faced the warriors of the second level of Xuanwu realm, and gradually felt that he was powerless. Among the places of origin, the most precious ones are Baoshan and Lingquan. There are 9 treasure mountains, but only one spiritual spring. Now Baoshan has just appeared, and Lingquan has not yet appeared. Okay, let's improve our cultivation first. Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan both agreed with Lin Bai's proposal. After the 3 people divided the elixir equally, they began to absorb the power of the elixir and began to make breakthroughs. Lin Bai was even more terrifying. He directly sprinkled all the elixirs he obtained in the air, devouring the sword's soul like an ancient beast opening its bloody basin to eat. Lin Bai sucked all the power in these elixirs into his body. Refined into true energy and injected into Dantian. 9th level of Zhenwu. Half an hour later, Lin Bai opened his eyes and said ecstatically. A night of silence. Early the next morning, Qi Xiaolong and Qidan's cultivation levels directly broke through to the first level of Xuanwu realm. After a night's rest, the 3 of them continued on the road again. There are still 2 days left until the place of origin sinks into the void. Lin Bai must find dragon bone gold. But now he doesn't even know where the dragon bone gold is. Half a day later, Qi Xiaolong pointed to a mountain in front of him and shouted with ecstasy, God is blessing me. Another treasure mountain. Lin Bai, look at that mountain in front of you. It's filled with elixirs. Qi Xiaolong's sharp eyes suddenly saw a high mountain in front of him, all filled with colorful elixirs. Another treasure mountain. That when Lin Bai saw it, he became enthusiastic. This mountain of elixirs was sold for at least hundreds of thousands, no, millions of spiritual stones. Lin Bai and others had already found one before. Unexpectedly, God was so blessed that Lin Bai and others found another one. Brother Lin Bai, Brother Xiaolong, look, there are people fighting fiercely on the mountain. Tai Dan took a closer look and saw that there were many disciples fighting on the mountain. Boom. There was a huge roar, and a man exuding a terrifying aura appeared under Baoshan, wearing a green suit, and scolded in a cold voice. I, the Qingtian sect, want this treasure mountain. If you don't want to die, get out. This man in green is at the 3rd level of Xuanwu. He has advanced cultivation and is extremely terrifying. The warriors who were fighting for the elixir in the treasure mountain looked up and looked horrified. It's him. Yuanjia, the 3rd of the top 10 disciples of the Qingtian sect's outer sect. Qingtian sect followed the example of Lingjian sect and also set up positions for the top 10 disciples in the outer sect. Many people in Baoshan chose to leave when they saw Yuanjia. Humph, disciples of the Lingjian sect, stay and die. Yuanjia saw an outer disciple of Lingjian sect, the 5th level of Zhenwu, and immediately punched him to kill him. The disciple had no time to beg for mercy, and was killed to pieces with one punch. Disciples of the Qingtian sect, go up to the mountain to collect herbs and kill all the spirit sword sects. Yuanjia looked back and saw Lin Bai and others at the foot of the mountain who had not yet gone up the mountain. There's another one here, go to hell. That when Yuanjia saw Lin Bai, he immediately punched him down. The terrifying power swept into a storm, charging towards Lin Bai with a roar that shook the sky and the earth. Sword intent, cut across the starry sky. Seeing such a fierce punch coming, Lin Bai didn't feel the slightest bit melancholy. If he didn't use his sword intention, he would definitely not survive. The sword intention was activated, and the sword was slashed, crushing the punch directly. Xiaolong, Tai Dan, you go up the mountain to grab the elixir. Leave Yuan Shan to me. Lin Bai, please be more careful. After Qi Xiaolong said something to Tai Dan, they all rushed up to the treasure mountain. After exchanging moves with Yuan Shan, Lin Bai looked at Bao Shan. At this moment, all the warriors from the Lingjian sect have fled, leaving only more than 20 warriors from the Qingtian sect, all of whom are warriors at the 8th or 9th level of martial arts. Qi Xiaolong rushed forward and went on a killing spree. After killing all the Qingtian sect warriors, he began to harvest the elixir. No. This treasure mountain belongs to our Qingtian sect. That when Yuan Shan saw all the disciples of the Qingtian sect being killed by Qi Xiaolong in an instant, he became furious. He ignored Lin Bai and rushed directly towards Qi Xiaolong and Tai Dan. You want to go there? Lin Bai dodged and stood in front of Yuan Shan. You bastard, die. Yuan Shan saw Lin Bai standing in front of him and punched out with a huge force, carrying an unparalleled experience. I want to see if I can fight against the 3rd level of Xuanwu after I break through to the 9th level of Zhenwu. Sword intent. God damn Lone Star. Directly activating his sword intention, Lin Bai blasted away at Yuan Shan with a fierce sword. Yuan Shan's eyes were startled, and he felt the overwhelming murderous intention in Lin Bai's sword.